Hey, Kevin Hawkins with Kaku Kayak. Today I wanted to talk to you about mounting the micro power pole onto a Kaku model. So today I got a 10.5 Wahoo here. I'm going to go over mounting the micro power pole, and this can also just give you some good advice for mounting anything onto the back here of a Kaku model. On all the Kaku models we have a recessed place that fits perfect for a micro power pole, and it's got brass inserts that are put in during the molding process. And what you want to do is you just want to make sure you're getting proper mounting here for it, because the big thing is you don't want to mess up those inserts. So I'm going to say it over and over again in the video: do not force bolts. If the bolt is not going in nice and easily, then something's wrong. You're cross-threading it, or you got the wrong size or something. So you want it to go in nice and easily. If it's not, do not force the bolt. Pull it back out and see why it's not going in there, because you do not want to strip the insert inside the plastic. So first thing, the micro power pole comes with a little packet which will have the right size Allen key that you need for the bolts that come with it. But the bolts that come with it are these super long bolts. These are for going through a transom on a boat, so these are not the right size bolts. You want to get the same type of bolt, but you want to get it in a 1-inch length. So it's a socket head, 5/16, 18 stainless steel bolt. Make sure you use stainless steel bolts. So you want to get 1 inch, but if you get them, they'll take the same size Allen key. So you've already got the right size tool that you need. So first step is to get those. Second step is you take the mounting bracket that comes with the micro. First thing you want to do is you want to set it in there, and you want to look down. If you need to use a light, use a light, and make sure that the hole is lined up exactly over top of the brass inserts. These look pretty good. During the molding process, or actually the cooling process, what happens is the plastic can shrink some. When it shrinks, even though the brass inserts are put in the exact place their measurements are supposed to be, when the plastic shrinks in the cooling process, it can move them a little bit. So these look pretty good. They might be off just a touch, but that's an easy remedy. So all you got to do is drill out these holes. I'll show this in a closer up view, but there's a little lip in there, a little shoulder for the bolt of the head of the head of the bolt to get on, so it tightens it. So when you drill it out, you don't want to drill it out so that shoulder's completely gone. You need a little lip there for the bolt to catch onto. So I'm going to go ahead and drill this out. I'm still just going to use a 5/16 drill bit. I'm just going to wallow it out just a little bit. So I got my 5/16 drill bit. So those drilled out just a little bit, but it still left a little shoulder in there. Alright, so now that I've drilled them out a little bit, I'm going to recheck it. They look good now. So now you want to take your 1-inch bolts. And what I do is I slightly get them threaded. Okay, so what I do here is I keep, even though I've got them slightly threaded in there, I keep the bracket up. I don't keep it pushed down tight up against there. I keep it pulled up until I've got them all threaded in a little bit. So you want to get them all started just a bit. Once they're threaded in there, I go ahead and push the bracket down and just go ahead and tighten them all. Now if you start feeling that one of them, see how easily that tightens in there? That's perfect. It's kind of like putting a tire on a wheel on a car. you want to do them all a bit, each time. So do a few spins on each one. This back one can be a little bit tougher because you can only get a little bit of a swing back here to the top. You don't have all that much leverage as you're doing it. But that's really a good thing because, like I said, you always just want to make sure you're not forcing them into those inserts. You do not want to mess up the insert. They're almost impossible to fix. It's pretty difficult. So if you feel any of them that are given too much resistance, pull it back out and start again. So every one of these is threaded in nicely. So it looks like we got those all in good. Tighten them all down. Once you get them about snug, change your bolt over so you get a little bit more leverage. But the other key to this now is that once you get it tight, don't over tighten them. You ain't got to torque these things down super tight. You just want them nice and snug. Okay, so those are all nice and tight. This thing's nice and snug on here. I didn't have to over torque them. I did it all with the hand tool. You can use a power tool if you want. You can use, I know some of you would rather use a power tool, and you can use the power tool if you want, but what I would recommend is turn this thing down to a low setting like 5 or 6. That way if it's not threading right, the drill's not forcing it in there. So that is the main key with doing this. I wanted to do this video because I got a call the other day. A guy's having a hard time getting something he's had in there for a long time out. They used a cheap bolt that obviously either was a low grade of stainless steel or wasn't stainless steel, so it rusted up and so it bound itself into the insert, and he wants to know how to get the bolt out and fix the insert. You don't want to be in that position. It's really hard to do. Another thing that I didn't do here that I would recommend is even putting a little bit of like a Teflon lube on the threads before you do it, or put some kind of anti-seize in there if you think that you're going to be removing that mount at some time, because if you've got it on there for a long period of time with getting salt water in there, then the bolt can end up getting seized up inside the insert. So I've never had it happen. I remove my Powerpole mounts and switch them over to other boats quite a bit, so I've never really had it happen, but it does happen. I know from customers calling me. So put a little anti-seize or a little Teflon lube on the threads and that will help that, but the biggest key is just using a high quality stainless steel bolt. So this is mounted. Your Powerpole. Has this quick release set up here. You just put that on and you're ready to go. So that's mounting to the micro Powerpole mount on the Kaku Kayaks. Doesn't matter which model you got, they all have the same style mount, so you don't have to buy anything extra out there except for some 1-inch bolts and for a Kaku model, and it's ready to go. Hope that was helpful, and thanks for watching.